Mic test, mic test. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Good, good. Angel Doge, how are you? Jesus. I'm assuming it's Jesus or Jesus. Let me know. The Toxic, how are you doing? How are you doing? Trying to remember all of the things I need open. Give me a sec. You doing great? I missed y'all too. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. Hopefully you guys will work with me because I haven't been in Spanish. Jesus, copy. I probably knew that already, but it's been a while. All right, I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back, chat. All right. So that's up. I got my chat up. I think that's oh, connect this. I think that's everything. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Divine Yard, how are you doing? Guess what? What happened? Thank you all for being here. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Life has been pretty tough. As I've been saying on Discord. I guess just to reiterate, as I said, this stream is gonna be a little bit like light. I'm probably not gonna be playing like ranked like almost at all. Because I've been tired. My job has me my last job, I had to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. And this one I have to be there at 8. So it's not as bad. The difference is that my last job I knew what I was doing. And it wasn't very taxing, you know what I mean? So even though I worked the same amount of hours, the role that I'm in this new job is a little bit harder than what I'm used to. And I've been out of work for 8 months, like almost a fucking year. So I'm not used to working. So like when I leave, I'm fucking beat. So I was talking to Hanma last week, and I said I want to just fucking like stream, but I'm just fucking tired all the time. I get home and I just lay down until I fall asleep. So like last night, for an example, I was like in bed at 9 o'clock, which, as you guys know, I stream until like 11 o'clock. So I probably won't be going as long. This will probably be a quick in comparison stream to what I usually do. But I just wanted to, I need some reps getting back on camera. I need some practice getting back on camera. And truth be told, I really don't feel like playing Street Fighter. I haven't played Street Fighter in almost 3 weeks, to be 100%. I can't even remember. Like the last time I played Street Fighter was legitimately the last time I streamed, and I don't remember when that was. What am I doing? Duplicate tab. Yes, that's what I want. It's been about 3 weeks. To be 100% honest. uh 24 days ago. So I'm very sad about that. But at the same time, I didn't miss the game like at all. I missed you guys. I missed being live, but I did not miss the game like almost at all. My mom braided my hair now. You have cornrows. You're kind of worried about the maintenance. You also have an interview for a nearby Chipotle. That's dope. Don't be worried about the maintenance. Just do it. Find out what you got to do, and then just do it. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's something that I was always taught. It's like, don't tell me why it won't work. Tell me how it will work. So think about what you need to do to keep them and to take care of your hair. And just do it. I know it's like, I know it sounds like, well, yeah, well, duh, right? But like at the same time, it's like you just have to do it. By the way, today, let me see. Hold on. I just got a notice saying that my channel is 17 years old today. That's crazy. That's insane. I've had this channel for as long as some of you have been alive. That's your problem too. The engineering stuff I do all day can be mentally taxing. So you'll get home, you'll make something to eat, and a lot of days you're just too slow brain for rain. Yeah. But I think it's because like I've had a lot of time to think about Street Fighter. I've had a lot of time to think about competition, and like, you know, I've just been in my head a lot. I've had to drive for Uber Eats a lot. So with that comes a lot of driving and just being in my head a lot. I need to clean my glasses. Let me take my glasses off. The issue that I have with Street Fighter 6 is it's mentally taxing, as you said, and it's true. It really does take a lot out of you. And the moment that you're not fucking hopped up on, you know, speed and shit, you know, you fall apart. And it demands a lot of you. I probably won't be able to do one of my long streams for Yasmin, but I will be here. She drops on the 3rd, correct? So unless my that sucks. She drops on the 3rd. Fuck. Unless my schedule changes, I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Today was rough. You have no water in your building. That's so funny. Not funny, haha. But before I went live, my mom called me and they actually turned her water off to fix something. But like it was right in the middle of her shower. You know what I mean? So that sucks. I'm sorry. Is there any like fix in sight? Or did they just turn the shit off and just not say why or when it's going to be back up? While we yap, I'm going to catch up on my dailies in my boomer game chat. I apologize for nothing. But yeah, no, negative vibes. Part of the things that like I thought about, you know, being away is that, you know, I think part of the problem that we have with things like ranked and the game as a whole is that we have this vision of what it means to enjoy the game. And I don't think it's the proper way to, quote, enjoy the game. You know what I mean? I don't think we have the right idea in mind. Like I said, I've been thinking a lot. And I remember someone, you know, to be a dick, you know, they said, when you win, you're happy. When you lose, you get mad and you tilt. It's something that's always like stuck with me. Because at first I was like, that's not the case, right? There's always things that will take place that gets me going. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, you know, inputs could not being right or something, blah, blah, blah. But one of the things I thought about being away from the game and shit is when they said that, I remember being like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's not true at all. But now I'm like, well, fuck yeah. What kind of stupid question? Like, what kind of dumb observation is that? Of course I'm upset that I'm losing. What the fuck? Is you stupid or is you dumb? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course I'm mad I lost. It feels bad to lose. Like, obviously it's more than just that. You know what I mean? Obviously it's more to like, how do I say this? I think that I always call it digestion of your feelings, right? When we eat, we take it in, we break it down in our mouths, it goes down to our stomach, and then we digest it, right? And then it passes through, right? We turn our food to shit, and the shit goes and leaves our ass, right? And then we don't have to think about the shit, right? But we have to process it. And our feelings are the same way. The problem is that I feel that processing your feelings and your emotions has almost become a meme, right? If I were to say to you, chat, like, what are you feeling right now? It's like, excuse me, that sounds corny as shit. That sounds like super corny. And when that happened, how did it make you feel? And I think that because we like meme so much, sometimes in life, we joke about shit that like is kind of important. So like the idea of like processing your emotions is exactly that. So when you lose, why does it upset you? It's not just you lost and you got mad. That's not the case. I don't think a lot of us will ever believe that. You know what I mean? A lot of us want to believe that we can lose in grace. A lot of us want to believe that we can lose and like learn from it. Neon, how are you doing? What's up, bitch? What's up? What's the sign for it? I think it's this. What's up, bitch? How are you? Yeah, I think that we want to believe we like losing grace and we want to believe that we are in like full control of our feelings and such. But a lot of the times, you know, we're not digesting exactly what makes us upset. You know what I mean? Big chillin'. I'm glad to hear that. Are you excited for Yasmin? Have you been playing Ingrid? So I think the idea of a person saying shit like, "Whoa, you get mad whenever you lose." It's like, you know, how do I say this? My first thought is, man, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, actually fucking choke on some cock, right? Disrespectfully. But even that is minimizing. You know what I mean? That's how I want to like act, because go fuck yourself. Like, you're saying that to be a dick, and I don't think that's cool. What I will say after the fact, after I think about it and after I process it and such, you know, what I will say is it's more than just I lost the game and I feel bad. It's like I lost the game because I'm a content creator and I want to do well because I want people to come to my stream. I want to make like when I open up stream to us. Adi, how are you doing? Even though I'm back at work and I'm glad to like finally earn a paycheck, and that's really, really nice. It's still gonna be a bit rough for like the first month and shit, cause I'm behind on bills. But it's nice that I feel like we got a Clash of Clan stream going. No, this is last war. I got 3 accounts that I gotta catch up on. So I got a lot of bills to catch up on. So it's still gonna be rough. So I don't know how much like my streams will be frequent or normal, at least for like another like few weeks. But going back to work, I thought about it, right? It's like I'm making the same amount of cash that I made at my last job, and it was rough. So I still am, I'm gonna have to drive for Uber Eats, and part of me feels this sense of guilt and shame, and I shouldn't feel this, but I do, like, because I'm being honest about shit, right? I feel this like sense of like guilt and shame because I'm still not able, after 17 years, to go full time with my content. You know what I mean? And that feels like shit. You know what I mean? That feels bad. It's like, when do I get to like break through? And I'm just not there yet, right? And like, I do have my goals and such. Like, I would like to at some point hit partner. I would love for that. But for right now, my goals are very short. I just want to get back into the groove of shit. And I do want to hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I'm super far away from it. I think I don't think with my break I'm gonna be able to hit it, but that's my goal, right? But I wish I could go full time, and I keep thinking like, if I was like 2K, maybe people would like want to watch me more. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be as insufferable, so maybe people would want to watch me more. So I say that because, that's what goes through my mind when I'm losing to some moron who doesn't know how to play the game, but I still lost to him. You know what I mean? It's not just that I lost. It's because, I want to fucking, like, my mother, me and her were talking. We went out to eat last night. And she talked about, she's like, I found this house and I love it. And I really wish I had enough cash to buy the house. And I'm like, well, how much is it? She's like, it's 700, 100,000. I'm like, God damn. So I'm like, your payments are going to be like $4,000 a month. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, it sucks. I can't even like, I can't even say like, I'll pick up the rest of like what you pay for your apartment now. I'll pick up the rest. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, my money ain't right, So those are the things that goes through my mind, when you fucking lose a game. It's not just, oh, I lost, I'm upset about it. It's more than just that, it's embarrassing. I feel that. Like, that's one of the things I have a hard time with. I feel like really bad embarrassment. And I think I told y'all that it's rejection sensitivity. Like a offshoot also of like ADHD. I get embarrassed like hard. I cringe really bad. That's why you see, like, I'll tilt, and then like I'll tilt for the rest of the stream. I just can't let it go. My brain just holds on to it. But it's not just that. So a bit of a rant, but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's a healthy relationship with the game. Also, I don't think it's a healthy relationship. It's not that it's a unhealthy relationship with a game. It's an unhealthy relationship with this specific game. You know what I mean? It's like other games. My mic arm is going. God damn it. Okay, hopefully it holds up here. This game is a very unhealthy game. We all know it. We all talk about it. This game is a game that like we play and we all think the same thing. It's kind of random and it's kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? We all understand it. We all know it. But we all like deny it because that's the scrub thing to like think, right? That's the scrub thing to like to believe. That's the scrub thing to like blame on our That's the scrub thing to like blame on our losses, right? I mean, let me claim my 4K fucking bricks in this game. Give me a second, chat. But yeah, like that's like the scrub thing. It's like you lost to some fucking Ryu that just used Hashigeki and fears Hashigeki. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, it's annoying. And it feels bad. You know what I mean? I had this really bad view of the game. I used to think that, like, man, if Punk could do it, I could do it. You know what I mean? And I still believe that, right? If there's a path, then you should take it. I used to talk about this a lot in Street Fighter 4. You know, people would say things like, Dudley sucks. And I'd be like, well, Smug does well. And they're like, well, yeah, but it's Smug. And I'm like, yeah, but if Smug can do it, like, that's the blueprint, right? That's the pathway. You have the pathway for it. Now just walk the pathway. You know what I mean? He's showing you what he's doing to win, you know? So I do believe that. But I think that's a really, again, unhealthy way to view it. Because respectfully, I'm not Smug. Nor are you Smug. So holding yourself to the standards of a person high up like that is, it's not good for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not good for you. I'm gonna go full screen for a second, chat, because I want to do something on the account. Dancing in the moonlight. Let's see. One of the problems that I've been having also is, you know, I'll do this later. As you all know, my ass is non-binary as fuck. And part of the problem that I'm having, it's not even a problem, it's just kind of a difficult time, is being out of work. It's been very hard to, like, you know, I also hate Capcom. That Capcom fools you with the matchmaking. The moment I went to 1500, exactly 1512, the game said, nope, you're winning too much. Time for you to fight a Grandmaster twice. I was like, what? Why? I'll go back to what you're saying in a second, Johnny. Okay? I agree with you, but I also am going to disagree with you too. But yeah, so being out of work, it's been hard to, like, it's been hard to stay up on, like, looks and shit, right? So for an example, I've like had to grow out my beard a little bit more, so that's been a bit rough, right? Like, it doesn't look too bad, but it's there, right? So that's felt pretty bad because, like, you know, when I'm out and about and I got my strut going and are bouncing, it's like, you know, I feel good. And then I see a person look at my, like, the fucking beard, and then they give me looks and shit. And I usually don't care about it. But being broke, it's like, I gotta stretch my razors a little bit more, right? So that's been rough. One of the conversations I had with my mom last night just left a really fucking, like, a fucking scar. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't felt this bad in a long time. It's like she started, like, if you guys saw on Discord, I posted a photo of myself and I'll post it in chat right here. I went out and drove for DoorDash. Excuse me. And you know, I'm gonna dress like how I dress and like look how I look, and I think I looked good, right? I think I looked great. No one said shit. I felt good. You know what I mean? And as I'm out, my mom's like, "Do you want to catch some dinner?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So she's like, "Meet me at blah blah blah." I'm like, "All right, cool." So we meet up, and she sees me, and she doesn't say anything outright, but of course, like, it comes up, right? And we got to talking about my gender, and my mother is supportive, but respectfully, it's not good enough, right? She's supportive in the sense, like, if you ask her if she supports me, she say, "Of course, I love my son." And even though I'm gender fluid, I've had to explain to people that my gender fluidity, you know, I'm still searching for what that means. And one thing that I've come to terms with is there's identities that I don't have a problem holding on to some masculine identities, right? So like I don't mind being my mother's son. That doesn't bring me any kind of like dysphoria, you know what I mean? That doesn't make me cringe. My name, Michael, doesn't make me feel weird. If anything, I just don't like the name. I'd rather be called Kail, right? So even as I started my new job, I like kicked myself in like the ass. I'm like, damn, this was a good chance for me to be like, hey, I should fucking I should have introduced myself, you know, as Kail, right? But I didn't, right? That doesn't bring me dysphoria. But what does is when I'm obviously when I'm obviously not mask presenting, still ignoring what's in front of you. You know what I mean? And like that's something that it's very hard to explain to people that, like, you know, engage with what's in front of you. You know what I mean? It's like I understand that there's things about me that still gives off masculine. I understand that 110%. I think go fuck yourself. Ask me, you know what I mean? Instead of just assuming. Don't be an asshole about it. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel this gives off dude. You know what I mean? I don't think this gives off sir. I think this gives off at least like asking. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, right? So that felt like shit. You know what I mean? And my mother just like said like a lot of things that like she doesn't understands, like not appropriate. You know what I mean? And she keeps treating it like some kind of like phase. You know, she keeps asking me like, you know, the medication that you're on, can you ever go off of it and to reverse the side effects? I'm like, well, like which one? And then she's like, well, you know, like what it does to you. I was like, what does it do to me that, you know, you're asking me if it will be reversed? She's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, it's important that you answer that because some things most definitely, right? Then she's like, so what if you stop? And I was like, well, one, I'm not going to. Two, body hair will probably start to grow again. I'm like, maybe my facial features will look a little bit more masked again. You know what I mean? But like for the most part, it's like body fat will probably start to go back to where it was, and so forth. And then my mom's like, yeah, but what about your dick? And I'm like, so we don't think that's inappropriate, like at all, just to ask a person about their dick? You know what I mean? And then thought it's my mother. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, I get it, but like, it's still fucking wild. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what about it? And then she's like, will like you be able to have kids? And I'm like, Mom, I'm not gonna have kids. She's like, why not? I'm like, I don't have a job. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I have $7 in my bank account. Stop asking me about kids. I'm like, if I could afford kids, I would have had kids a long time ago. But I can't afford kids. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Shit. So she decided to tell me stories about friends of hers that had a hard time because they were trans when they grew up and shit. And some of them were horrible stories. And I had to tell them, like, can you stop telling me these? Like, why? I'm like, it's kind of traumatic. Can you stop telling me about how hard my life is? I'm like, I'm happy. And that's all you should care about. And it made me think a lot about it. It's like, you know, she said things like, you don't fit the profile of a person who's trans. And I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know shit about me. You know what I mean? It's like, if you don't think that, then you really don't know me. It was just a really bad night, but I try not to argue with my mom, so I just took it. But today I've just been in a really like mood just because of it. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, maybe if I was able to meet more of my looks goals, maybe then it wouldn't come off as like, oh, this is just a phase for Michael. You know what I mean? So I want to hit the gym. I want to start saving again for facial laser. Hitting the gym, I think, will help me so much. You know what I mean? That will help me feel so much better. So once I get some cash in me, once I'm a little bit more focused, I want to start to look at how to actually to work out in the gym and not hurt myself and look stupid. You know what I mean? Johnny, are you still here? I'm sorry for yapping. I told you it would be a second, but it was more than a second. I'm sorry about that. So, was that the highest you have been? Was 15? Because I agree with you, right? I go through this a lot. Good shit too. I go through this a lot. Whenever I'm trying to like learn and shit, I'll be like, I'm brand new to the character. Why is it giving me matches against people that are obviously so much better than me? It makes playing and learning, and it takes the enjoyment out of it. You know, it's like, I understand that like it's not always going to be easy, but it feels like I'm put in these unwinnable games. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand that. I definitely understand. I feel you. The part where I will push back a bit is, well, that was weird. The part that I'll push back on you a bit is that this isn't a normal ranked game, right? This is a ranked mode with very squished ranks. What do I mean by that? I mean, up until master rank, you see clear divisions, right? You see clear divisions. It was rare that if you were gold, you were going up against like a platinum like 5. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? That's just not how the game would give you. But understand too that there's more players to pull from, right? Now that you are in the top 20 to 15% in the world, you know what I mean? Now that you're in the top half of the whole world with your rank, understand that matchmaking is going to be a little bit more loose. I also will say, and this is I think is a lukewarm take, but maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. You let me know. But the differences between 15 and 16 is like a good night. You know what I mean? It's like I got to, I think my highest with Jamie was like 15 and change, right? I think I have my game open. 15, 20, right? This was my highest. It's like, if I just played more, like, I definitely could easily hit 16. Now, the part about it that sucks to say, and I don't want to, like, take anything away from people, like, my Kimberly was 1600. That's fucking stupid. My Kimberly is 16. My highest on Juri was 17. It's like, look at this. This is 100 points. My Juri is like a dozen times better than my Kimberly. You know what I mean? It's like not even close. But number wise, you know, not too far off. You would look at this spread here and go, oh, your Kimberly obviously is like good. Not really, you know? My Kimberly ain't that great. Did I just not play in fucking... Oh, it's just probably not... The information is probably not there anymore. Like, that's what I mean, right? It's like the ranks are just so fucking squished that, like, I could play a bit of Kimberly and get to 16. You know what I mean? It's dumb. My Juri and Maya have similar MR. Your Juri is way better. You know, it's Maya, but the same idea. I get it, but and like there is some truth to that, right? There is some truth to the idea that, like, in my point of view, Juri is hard mode. Playing her is hard. Like, everyone says, like, lol, you know, you drive rush, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, with Kimberly, there are things that I can do, and, like, legitimately, it's like, well, you deal with it. You know what I mean? like, what I mean by it. It's like, there's things about her, and there's things about, like, everyone in the game, right? Where it's actually, hey, you deal with it, right? Juri's mad hard to play. She's mad hard to play, and, like, you know, I don't think she's as good as everyone says she is. She's good, but, like, it's like, I could just run this shit. You know what I mean? This is just dumb. I could just run this. And it's up to you to deal with it. You know what I mean? You deal with it. Right? I could just run this shit, right? You deal with it. Like, that's insane. I could just... You deal with that. Right? This shit's dumb. +5. This is plus... It's a low and it's plus. A +5. You deal with it. You deal with this shit. I'm not deal... You fucking deal with this shit. You deal with that. You deal with that. Yeah. She's super honest. So, like, me and Hanma talk so much on the low about it. A lot of shit that I talk about on stream, a lot of it is inspired by, like, our conversations, right? And it's like, he'll hit me up all the time and be like, this shit here is tech, but there's nothing we get off of it. You know what I mean? It's like, every time there's something that we think about, we're like, oh, this would be cool. This is tech. This is tech. This is tech. The game just doesn't allow it. You know what I mean? Frustrating. Right? Like, this is insane to me. This is +1. Right? It's +1. You deal with this. You deal with that. I'm not dealing with it. You deal with it. It's like there's shit about this, like, about this character that's just like, you deal with that. I could just do that for free every time, and you just have to. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do about it. Does that make sense, chat? Even if you fucking block. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you to deal with it. That's fucking dope. Even if you do block it, right? You deal with it. That's plus. You deal with it. Right? You deal with that shit. That's crazy, chat. It's wild to me, right? That, like, this is plus, right? That's plus, and it goes into this. You know what I mean? You deal with it. That's insane to me, chat. And, like, that's what I mean by, like, Juri doesn't have anything even close to that shit. You deal with it, you know? That's not a good indication, but you see what I'm saying, right? Look at the drive gauge on that. You deal with it. You deal with that shit. That's not up to me. That's between you and Jesus Christ to deal with. There it is, right? Yeah, you deal with that shit. That's my point, right? So it's like there are times in which, with her, I'll just do shit, right? I'll just run the shit. This here? What is it? That's plus. That's plus. Is it? I think it is. Yeah. No, it's safe. Excuse me. This is plus. You deal with it. That's my point. And on top of it, like, her walk speed's fast, and I can whiff punish. You know what I mean? Her 5K is good. Juri's 5K is really good, I think. But it's just not great. And, like, you're right. Ken's 5 HK is definitely a lot better. I forget a lot that like this is +1 in burnout. So I always forget that, you know what I mean? But the problem is too, it's like, yeah, it's +1, right? But like that works, what you trade, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's great, but like you have to walk forward a bit, right? That doesn't work. You have to walk up a little bit. -3, 2, 1, 0. This is +1, 2, 3. Hey, mod, it's nice to be back. Hanma sent me a mod that has Jubilee from Marvel Rivals. I gotta add it to it. But yeah, it's like Juri is hard to play because, like, you know, not for nothing, a lot of her shit, it's just, it's not that it's bad, it's just very honest compared to the rest of the cat, you know? And the most dishonest things, it's like people know how to mitigate it, you know what I mean? But the best thing about her is, you know, her strike throw, essentially. Yeah. Mai is a better Juri. I think people say that, but I don't think that Mai scratches the itch that Juri players get scratched when we play her. So I will agree with you in how it feels, right? Like in how she wants to play and blah blah blah. I understand that. But there's no character in the game, in my point of view, that scratches the same itch as her. Unless the itch that you need scratches you winning. You know what I mean? The reason why I don't like Mai, to be honest, has nothing to do with anything else. Just her personality. If I were to play anyone else in this game, it would be Aki. You know what I mean? Aki to me is like really cool. Maybe Sea Viper. I like her a lot. That's one thing I would like to see change is when I do double tap. I don't want to get 2 hits. I hate that. That's a double tap. That shouldn't give me 2 hits. That's always annoying. But yes, I guess in principle, I wonder if setting up a meaty hard kick in burnout would be worth it. Let me see. 17. 20. Yes, on a safe jump, maybe? I think at best I can make that 0, I think. Don't have stocks? What was I doing? I'm 1 off. 41? There it is, yeah. But I'm still too far away. That's the issue. But under burnout... Excuse me. That's +4. You know what I mean? So under burnout, I would get a trade here. We get a trade there. This would win out. What is nice, though... I think using hard kick, you're -3. If you set up a meaty, you are good there, you know? You are too far away. You're still outside of range. The pushback is there. So even though you can't keep going in the sense of like you're not plus, I don't think there's still trade there, yeah. But instead of hard kick, maybe using this button there, right? I'd have to delay it more. like that, right? I guess the same thing would apply here too. Even if it's a little bit different if they're not in burnout. You definitely lose your turn there. Further out a little bit. Yeah, against Rios. Kill. Sight walk forward, right? Like this is kind of like the. This is like what I want you guys to like start to do, right? Is part of the struggles that I have with making content is because, you know, people will come to me saying like, what do I do? And I don't want to like, I don't want ever my content to be an instructional. Like there's some things that are instructionals, right? Where I'll be like, hey guys, this is a safe jump for 2 bars. That's not bad, right? Like there are times when I'll be like, yes, you know, I think this is worth it. I never really thought, what's this? 41. That's kind of a thing, right? Do I adjust that in some way? And I'm flattered, safe jump. I'm flattered when I can help someone start the game and reach some of their goals, right? I'm flattered and I'm happy to do it. But sometimes I want to do videos that are like abstract, you know what I mean? And I always love peeking into those kind of things, you know what I mean? The answer would be if it works for you, which is not useful at all. No, but like that is the answer, right? But what I want you guys to do, the reason why I like talk a lot about how the game works and such is I want you guys to take note. We were talking about standing hard kick, right? And that was 16 minutes ago. And within 16 minutes, I was able to find something of use. But did you guys see how fast I found meaties for it, setups for it? You know, it's not because I knew those things. It's because of the information I had behind it, right? And I'll give you an example, right? So I'm like, all right, it has 4 frames active, right? And you saw me count it. I said, you know, -3, -2, -1, 0. Okay, so at best it could be 0, right? And it starts up in 17 frames, 18, 19, 20. So I have to hit on the 20th frame, okay? So I'm like, all right, well, let's think about it, right? What can I do to normalize it, right? So 20 frames, or dash is 22 frames. So any knockdown, 20 plus the 22, 42 frames. That's a safe jump. I know that knockdown. So now I know the setup for it, right? Dash and then hit that. And then it didn't work, right? And I saw it's because I was 1 frame off, right? Okay, cool. So I have to be plus 41, okay? I know that there is plus 41, right? So then I tried that, right? There's my 0. And when I did the test, I saw the pushback was that of such that whiffed, right? So then I'm like, oh, okay. I now have something that I can force a whiff. So because I have that information beforehand, I'm able to create new tech, quote, quote. You cannot play a rush down Juri, but you lose against full rush or rush down Juris all the time. What has been working for me is playing the mid-range. 13, probably. Oh, that was after the whiff. That's because that whiff. That there is 0, but it's +4 in burnout. So that's why I always like to give you guys the building blocks to why the game works the way that it works. So that you don't have to like there are times when you guys will come to me and be like, Kail, I found this thing. Is this good? I'm like, does it work for you? Yeah, it's great. Go, you take your tech and you stretch it as long as you can. See how it works, see why it works. You don't need me to tell you if it's good. Just try it out. Like, to me, this is the most dumb shit in the world. This is my favorite piece of tech. That there. My favorite piece of tech. I love it. It makes me happy. It works. It's fucking great. I love that shit. It's safe. And they can't throw me. It's fucking great. Is it plus? No. Is it great? No. But it works for me. It's fucking great. Because people tend to throw there. Yeah. So when people block or they get hit by overhead, it's a very common thing for them to go for a throw. Because it's common for people that when they do this, they go for a throw. Right? This is a habit that I found that people tend to do. And when you pay attention to what your opponent does when you do things, you can go, oh, all right, I see a lot of people try to do that. So what would be the counter for it? You know what I mean? Like this, right? This is dumb, chat. Right? We've all been here. We've all done this shit. Right? People tend to tech there. So obviously it's a good thing. Go for a shimmy here. But like you also can do this. You know what I mean? Like, is it good? I don't know. Is it a risk? Yeah. Does it feel good to do? Fuck yeah, right? Hell yeah. The thing about Juri's fireball, what I've been trying to do before I took my break is I like to think about her fireball as an extension. What do I mean by an extension? All right. There's points like people talk about her buttons having a lot of range, but like if you whiff this button here, you're fucked. Super fucked, right? Everyone knows this. Don't whiff this button. It made this button easier to whiff punish, right? So there's a certain range where people will play at, and when you play against characters that have good walk speed, like Cammy, I do this a lot to her, right? She's able to walk in and out of range a lot. So there are times when like you want to walk up and do this, but like her walk back is so fast that like a lot of times she will not be in range, right? So what I usually tell people is that pay attention to what buttons you want to use and focus on making a connection, right? That's super important. People will do things like they'll stand here and like they'll hope. But like if you watch your game back, this is obvious that this is not going to reach. But people will say things like, I'm hoping that they try to press a button, right? I saw that they tried to walk up, so I tried to stop them from doing this. But like you have 36 frames where you can be hit. You know what I mean? You have to make sure this button hits. Even if you do this, right? If you walk up, she can still walk back. So what I would say is there are times in which you're playing here and you think that Cammy's trying to make you whiff some shit, right? And if that's the case, you have to change the button that you want to use, right? So like if you're finding that she's trying to watch for this button and trying to space out that button, obviously you should try to change up your button, right? But there are times when you'll find you'll try to hit this and you're still out of range. You know what I mean? In times like that, you have to increase your range. What does that mean? Well, you have this button. This increases your range. Because if you do this, they have to respond to it. They have to respect that. They have to treat it like a threat. Because if they block it, you're back in range, right? You get to take your range back. You get to be back in their face. So as you try to like fight for this range here to make a connection, if you do this, look, you're in range again. Oh, I changed my buttons. Oh shit. You're back in range, right? Even if you do this, right? I'm still plus there. So I like to think about times when I feel like, damn, I'm very unsure of range. I feel like they're trying to watch for these buttons and shit. You know what? Fuck it. You deal with it. You know what I mean? What the fuck is going on? What's up, Will? How are you, Doug? You reached master rank. You wanted to thank you for the guides. I appreciate that. I am going to butcher your name. Shengui? Hopefully I said your name right. Big chillin', how are you doing? I'm assuming you haven't been playing Sea Viper and shit. This game don't scratch the itch, huh? But good to see you, dog. It's your first time playing Street Fighter? You had no idea what to do until you found your content? That's been my goal, is that, you know, when you run into a problem, if you are unsure of what path to take, a lot of people will quit. So it was my goal in Street Fighter 6 to make some content for people just like you, who are not sure. And I wanted to kind of, you know, make guides to help you get to where you want to be. You know what I mean? I mean, you shouldn't. I'm struggling so hard right now, chat. My glasses is caught on one of my necklaces. Shit. Fuck me. God damn. Fuck me. Shit. You work for Samsung now? What the? How do you fucking? Isn't this motherfucker worked for Samsung and I fucking got fired? Like, god damn, from my job. I just found work again. What do you do for Samsung? So I'm glad it helped out, Shen. Spaced fireball is your answer, but also it prevents brainless drive rushing. Yeah. Juri's fireball is not great when you treat it as a fireball. Territory manager for save ed. That's dope. How'd you land that gig? I'm asking because I fucking, even though I'm at a job that pays the bills now, I am learning from my past. I don't plan on getting comfortable. You know what I mean? Did you have to go to school for it, or is it a job that they train you on the job, or did you work up for it? But yeah, to anyone who I was able to help out in this game, I'm really glad for that. Brayden, how are you doing? I just saw your name pop up. I'm sorry. You're you? That doesn't help me though, nigga. What the fuck? Fucking bitch, nigga. Like, you just walked through the fucking door. That reminds me of that King Vader old Vine. When he does the bottle flip. Earthy niggas, so you just put the dick on the counter. You brought a scale too, right? You brought the scale, you threw the dick on the counter and said, sign me up. They saw the shit said E. They said, god damn. Here's what we're working with. Hey, yo. I always quote you, Will, Uh, dick thicker than a Snickers. Or dick game so hot you gotta call it a jalapeno. Getting your funny up and your money up, my nigga. Glad to see you, dude. Hopefully everything has been good with you. I know that, you know, times have been tough, but we tougher though, you know. Classic ass saying, yeah. Yeah, no, you know, I'm glad things are going well for you. I saw that you weren't really fucking with games and shit. Times have been tough, Will. This last year has been fucking nightmarish, yo. I lost my job and like things have been really hard. I just got my first check from my new job, but I'm not happy there either. You know what I mean? All this new job is doing once I get back on my feet, all it's gonna do is make me want to go harder on my content again. I started posting on Instagram. For anyone who's interested in, you know, me outside of the game and shit. It's kail.xo. And I also have a channel where I am talking about like world events, things about like, you know, stuff about the government, my views on the world and shit, talking about sex and gender, obviously non-binary Kail. You know, I am really tired of double tapping giving me that. So I'm not saying I'm done making fighting game content. You hanging with the weekend hugs and kisses, dog. Don't go there if you don't want to see the thirst traps, nigga. Nigga, I told you that shit. I even explained to you. I said easy enough to put it. Sometimes I feel like a bitch. Sometimes I feel like a nigga. And you were like, all right, bet. I told you that. It's on Facebook. I told you this. We've been through this. Bitch ass nigga. Nigga, you fucking bitch ass nigga. Like, what the fuck? Nigga. Fuck out of here, motherfucker. The fuck? Oh, on top of it, chat. We were talking about Juri, about her spacings and shit. The reason why I say that like Juri's like really hard to play and shit, in the sense of like she has some tech that's like really hard to use. So like even like this is hard to like get down and shit. Like that there is super strong. That's super strong. That's mega strong. But it's fucking hard to do, you know? See? That shit's hard to do. Super important. That shit sucks. But there is a space where you can start to play. Like here, they can't do a low forward there, and they can't do one here either. You know what I mean? So there is like a play style where you can like really extend your range. Why did that not work? Count. Oh, because it's not on. Stupid ass. Oh my god. All right. You can create this like feeling of like your opponent not knowing when they could actually press a button. You know what I mean? Dirty Phantom. Phantom, how are you doing? It's like, yeah, it's like other characters just get to do that. You know what I mean? And that shit sucks. Although I am curious. Too close. Yeah, that is too close. Coffee soon? I wish. But yeah, Will. I came out in 2024, the end of it. But yeah, no, I was very happy afterwards. But yeah, no, like after this chat, like a lot of like low forwards won't reach here. And then like even if you do this, right? You're mad plus. And like that, it's like so cool, right? They can't press there. At least I don't think they can, right? Let me see. Yeah, see? They can't even match there. If they block the fireball, they can't even match there. In fact, I don't even think they can match there. Ah, that doesn't work. That sucks. But again, to unlock that is fucking hard. Not only is it hard, but it takes a risk of doing like, what is it, a 6-frame gap? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just stuff. So I think that's Juri's like biggest skill is the ambiguity of some of her shit. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? For an example. I call this the jukes. Jukes does that shit a lot. You know what I mean? I think one of the problems that I have with playing her is that I want to play footsies way too much. And I think she does well in it, but I don't think footsies is something you want to hard focus in this game. I think that's one of the things that I think people get killed for. I think people focus too much on footsies and then they get stuck because people start to drive rush. They don't react as fast as they think they are. And then all of a sudden they're mad because like they didn't check the drive rush. Yeah, she's cool in that sense, right? That everyone plays differently and it does allow her like the game does allow her to do that. You know what I mean? And that's cool. But sometimes it's very hard to how do I say? It's hard to look at someone playing and then like pick out why they chose to do that. Because there are times when like I look at it and I'm just like, well, that's stupid. Why would they do that? And you don't always have the luxury of being able to ask them. You know what I mean? So like I'll watch, say like Nephew. I'll watch him play and I'm like, well, that's stupid. Like that combo isn't that good, right? Well, that's dumb. He could have been plus here. He chose not to be plus there. But it's like his decisions are based around what he sees and his vision for how he wants to see the round turn. And sometimes you don't get that chance to understand the logic behind it. You can only infer, right? And there are times like, you know, I get tight when a person comes and go, Kail, you know, you could have killed there. And I'll be like, shut the fuck up. Did you know that you can fucking put my balls on some fucking pita bread and eat that shit to the face? Shut the fuck up. I didn't ask you. But it's because they actually are trying to understand my logic. And I'm like, I didn't kill because I suck. What do you want me to say? I fucked up. I didn't do the combo right because I fucked up. Shut up. An example of like not understanding what people's goals are. I tell this story a lot because I tilt so bad when it comes to shit like this, right? So I was trying to remember what the situation was. I think it was just this, right? I think it was just that, right? I think it was just that. And in that case there, if a person wakes up with a throw, they'll whiff, right? So what I was trying to do was I was trying to like option select almost, right? Do this, walk back, and then hit that, right? See? And what ended up happening instead was this. I walked back too much, and I did that. And someone in chat who was trying to help, and is someone that I respect a lot, but it came at the wrong time. He said, you don't have to walk back there. And I remember I walked back for a specific reason, right? There's a reason why I walked back there, but I forgot why the reason was, right? So when I tried it again, I said, oh, I don't need to walk back, right? And I said to them, I said, there's a reason why I'm doing it. But then when I tried to explain, I was like, what's the reason? If this doesn't work, right? Like, I don't have to walk back there. Okay, cool. So then I said, okay, fine. Right? So the next match was against a Sagat. Right? And what happens? I get the throw, right? And I do the setup, right? And I remembered what he said. He said, you don't got to walk back there. Just block low, right? And you're fine. And then I got thrown. And I tilted off the fucking face of the of the earth. Because I knew there was a reason why. And it's because some characters have larger throw ranges. Well, I can't do that on Sagat. Right? I have to walk back a bit and then block low. So if they want to wake up and do like crouching medium kick, I can always walk back and block low. Right? And if they throw, that walk back is enough to avoid the throw, and then I could punish. Right? Right? See? That was my goal. So I tell that story because although they were right, they didn't see the vision of what I wanted. They didn't know what my goals were. You know what I mean? And I'm probably overthinking, but that was my vision. Does that make sense? So there are times when, like, you know, someone will do something, but you just don't see the vision because you're not in their mind. That's just how it is. What you should be doing, though, Johnny, is trying to look at things holistically, in the sense of, like, there are times when I'll be like, well, that's strange. I would have thrown there, but they striked. You know what I mean? And I don't understand why they did it. And instead of me going like, well, I guess, you know, he just chose that, he flipped a coin, blah, blah, blah. I like to think of it like, well, he made a decision to do that. Can I find why he would have made that decision? And I'll watch the whole set back. And I look at the times in which he chose to strike and when he chose to throw. Oh, shit. My bad. I just realized, Trickster, how are you doing? I realized I have to take your name off the fucking board because someone else redeemed the employee of the day. My bad. But how are you doing? How's things going? Hopefully things are going well for you. The Sea Lion community. Have I ever tried, was it Nikkei? I think I downloaded it once, but it wasn't for me. This game got me specifically because, chat, the reason why I started to play this game, I was up late at night and I was fucking jorking my peanuts. No, I was on Instagram and I saw an advertisement for a game like this. Right? They got me. Right? This game. This is that game, chat. They fucking got me. I'm dead. So then I played the game for like a few rounds. And then all of a sudden I see this shit and I'm like, oh, that's not the game at all. But at that point, I was already too deep. And I started playing it. And now I have 3 accounts. Oh my god, it's so bad, right? It's so bad. It's so bad. They act like they're so dumb. And they get me. They fucking got me, chat. I'm dead. But yeah, that's how I got into this game. I saw the one chick who has the blonde hair with like the really long bangs and the fucking big fucking tits and the fucking big thighs and shit. And I'm all for it. But there's a level of like, you know, kind of give you an idea of how I view things. Look, I'm not saying I'm like holier than thou. I'm not trying to act like, you know, I don't like a bad bitch. Absolutely, right? Who doesn't? I get that. But it's I don't do the whole like I'm gonna like get horny for pixels. You know what I mean? That doesn't work on me. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. I wish I could be. But that shit just don't work on me. And I think that's like a big that's a big draw to those kind of games. Not just the horniness, but like the waifu shit, right? It just don't work on me the same way. Especially since like I'm like trying to win. So it's like even in this game, the characters I like the most that I think are hot is obviously the freaking goth chick, right? Of course. But she's not great. You know what I mean? Like, these characters, they're not great. So it's like, there's not a lot of waifus on, you know what I mean? Either way. So it doesn't even like work the same way. You did your best to learn from nephew. If I just don't understand how he plays, maybe it's just too advanced. Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing about it, Johnny, is that nephew plays Juri like he would play Colleen. You know what I mean? It's just his playstyle is very... I don't want to say it's safe. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's very meticulous. And he is able to maximize opportunities that come up. And I'll give you an example. Something that I like stole from nephew is being able to confirm like this, right? And I saw this when he played Mai. And I like think this is like this is a good example of how to X copy skills, right? Because whenever he uses this move here, if it hits, he always converts. Always. Is this on random? No, it's not. You know what I mean? So it's like whenever he hits that, it's a clean hit, a fifth of your health, and it pushes to the corner. So it's like, it's not always this like, I hit this button, I'm gonna use the 3 bars to go in. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people play that way, and this game incentivizes to do that, right? Of doing like stuff like, you know, even if you don't like hit, just doing this, right? Just doing this and hitting parry. And if it hits, great, you get mixed, right? What nephew does is like, there is a sense of that. Like there's times in which he does it, but like whenever he goes for a hit, there was a lot of times when like he'll just no, it's not. It's not true. Like he will convert off of those hits, you know? Huh, can you? Right? So when I saw that, I said, oh, well, that's dope, because there's times in which he doesn't have to use the 3 bars. He could always like do like that, right? And use 2 here. Right? He uses 2 bars and he's good. Right? Especially when you look at how your meter will come back, right? Oops. Like, if you look at my bar here, it doesn't seem like much, but like, it only used like 1.5 meters. You know what I mean? And I'm sure I could get more off of that too, right? But my point is, it's the difference between like, you know, 1/3 of their health and using 1.5 bars, and like, for an example, doing something like that, right? And if it hits, great. If it doesn't, then it's whatever. What do I even do there? I haven't played her in so long. Yeah, something like that, right? That does less, you know what I mean? And it took more of my drive gauge, you know what I mean? That still does less, you know what I mean? No, but what I'm saying is, it's like that's a skill that he has, right? And this comes from Street Fighter 5. It's a skill that he has, that he's able to, in times in which he's going to go for a hit, to convert that, right? So I said, well, let's look at the frame data for it, right? Let's turn off the browser for a second. Right? So let's go into super combo into my, right? So then I looked at like 5 HP, right? Oops. Normals 5 HP, right? I looked at it and it said, hit confirm window is 17 frames. Okay, cool. So I said, all right, which Juri's then? Right? And I saw it and I'm like, 17. Same exact thing as my. So I'm like, if nephew can consistently do that on my, why can't I consistently do this on Juri? And I think stuff like that isn't like that's how you X copy shit. I might have to turn my other game off because my stream is lagging like a motherfucker. Holy fuck. Let's turn this off. So that's something that I like went out of my way to try and learn. And am I perfect on it? No, but like there are times in which you'll see me. My game did not like having that other game. There are times when like you'll see me, chat, where I'll throw out a button. Oh my god, it did not like that game being open. Oh my god. My game is struggling now, right? I'll throw this out, right? If it hits, great, right? Like, it's because I practice that, you know? You know what I mean? So it's not easy to replicate per se, but what I do whenever I throw that button out, I always look at the health bar. Right? If I see that health bar turn red at all, and then I studied how it works and how it feels. And what I find is that there's a few things that goes wrong with it. It's because since this move is slow, a lot of times I'll go to buffer this move early, right? And what do I mean by early? If you look at like this here, I'll press the button, and as I press the button, I'll start to buffer, right? See? But sometimes what happens is I'll do it. I got it there, right? There are times when I'll do it too fast, and you see how like it didn't work there, right? It didn't work, right? See? And I'm like, I feel like I was in the time to do it, but like that worked, right? And there's a reason why that one worked. There would be times in which I felt like I was like very fast, but it didn't work. And I found out why. It's because your inputs get stored for a certain amount of time, right? So I would be doing it so fast that like my input would expire, right? I would do it here, and that's too fast, right? That was fun. So what I found was if I start the input right when the button is supposed to hit, right? So I start the input here, right? Here. Right? You see that? Like there, right when it's about to hit. I'll start doing the input now. And then I hold the forward button. So as it connects, my input is still in the system. There. Okay. If I do it too early, it might not actually work. See if I could get it to work. See? I pressed the button for it, but it took too long and my input expired. See? I did it, but my input expired. So if I start the input as it's about to hit, I actually have a lot more time to do it. Obviously, that's in slow motion, but that's how I do it. And you find you have like a lot of time, especially for this move here. It's hard to convert off of like Ankin, but it's slow, right? But even if you do get it to cancel, there's times that it won't work. That's why I tend to not do that. So if you think about it, anytime you throw out this move here and you would do this in hopes it hit, like a lot of times you could just hit it, and if it doesn't hit, then you don't hit the parry button, right? The moment you see the hit, then you hit the parry button. And what this does is it takes away some of their drive gauge, right? It does a few things actually. One, it takes away some of their drive gauge, so a half of their drive, half a bar every time, right? That there's a full bar. For those two there, it's a full bar, right? If I do that, it's a full bar. And a lot of times you're so far away that, like, even if they want to throw out like crouching medium punch or something, right? A lot of times you're so far away that it still won't hit, which is nice, right? See? You're still safe. So you're playing at a range where it's hard for them to counter, right? It's hard for them to strike back, right? They can't press a button to hit you there, right? If they jump, you got that, right? You do that, you can walk up a little bit more, hit again. This is some pressure on their drive gauge. And at any time, you can still do this and be plus, you know? Which is nice. And if you do get a stray hit at all, right? Is there drive fresh cause the only good corner escape to send the opponent the corner with? Oh, so you mean like hitting a combo and then like going underneath and doing like that? Something like that, right? I forgot how to do that. Not really the best. You know what I mean? Juri's side swaps aren't great, honestly. Very. Yep, but like still, it's like she doesn't really have much that's gonna be like cheap, you know. I'd rather you just like push out, you know what I mean? It's like boom, we're back into the center, you know. You lose the corner, but you know it is what it is, right? Oh, you mean like? I mean, anything you get, honestly, if you think about it, anything that you end your combo with as you dash, like you're gonna be in a good place. But I definitely think if your goal is to push out of the corner, you definitely want to end your combo with that, most definitely, as much as you can. You also can do like something like that is a good push, you know. But yeah, you want to think about your drive gauge. Something you can do, I don't know how great it is. You always, if you jump out, a lot of times people will jump out and they'll try to do like this. You know what I mean? You also could just do this too when you're out. Doesn't always work, but like, you know, it's there. Or even like if you're trying to, if you think they're gonna throw you, you know what I mean? Let me think of I think that they're gonna throw. I'm trying to think of. Like that. Could do like that, you know what I mean? I don't remember. No, it's not like that at all. It was a little bit goofy. I I forget how I did it. It's like whiff a light and then jump in. What it was it changed how I landed based on if they quick rise or if they back rolled, for one, or what button I pressed. But what was nice about it is it fucked with their how do I say? It fucked with their back roll. So they expect a back roll in a direction and you land on top of them in a direction that they don't expect. Mm-hmm. That was like forgotten tech. Forget what I did there. Like that or something like that. You know what I mean? That doesn't even work the way that I thought it would. Not really operating how I remembered it. Maybe it was that, right? There's a lot of weird ones I had, like that, right? There's a lot of weird ones I had. I guess that maybe it doesn't feel as weird because Sagat's back roll is a little bit like normal, I guess. I don't want to say normal, but like doesn't look as crazy. There. Yeah. That's what I was trying to find. Yeah. That's what it is. I like that. That's so beautiful. I had another version of it too, like that, yeah. And then I could also do like that too. The problem is it lands in a way that I don't think that they can not block it correctly. I think if you hold either direction, it's fine. So what I mean to say is, I think it's bi-blockable. Right? Okay, it blocks there. There. Or It doesn't matter which way they block it. It blocks either way. Actually, no. Let me see. No blocks. Turn it off. I remember when I did the test on myself. I was able to block either way. Easier way to test this with Juri. For these kind of things, it's always good to test it on yourself. Yeah, that's just how corner things work. You know what I mean? How did I set this up again? It was hard to set up because of... It's hard to set up because of the drive rush part. The drive impact part. But the thing about it that is good about it is the fact that the goal is that they're not going to look at it properly. You know what I mean? Meaning that they might be confused as to what side they landed on. That's what I think is the mix-up. That's what I think is like where the money is. I can always force that if need be. I think if I get good at that, I think I could probably get good at that. I think. 41. 32. I think I could get good at that. That's 43. Huh. Combo. That sucks that doesn't combo. But something like this would work, though. Yeah. It depends. It's very, respectfully to people who disagree. Stuff like this isn't very... At least in my point of view, right? Maybe I don't see the vision. These kind of things are not very... how do I say? Not something that, like, planned for. Like, kind of like, go for it, you know? Like, something like that would have worked, right? Oh, you mean low fireballs? Yeah. Sorry. I misunderstood. You're talking about, like, for example, like Terry. Yeah. Yep. I do this a lot with Terry. So, like, for an example, you can always throw out your fireball and then hit, like, hard kick in case it clashes, right? So if it does clash, right? Oh, because the fireball's still on screen. That's weird. Well, what's cool about this, right, is let's say for an example, it doesn't punish, right? See how like that's still out there? See how that's still there? So it's kind of a nice little you can set up something that's like kind of a trap in case it doesn't work. Or even like this, right? You know what I mean? Like it's still out there. But like, you know, when I talk about like things that they could do with her, like my point of view with whenever it comes to like her fireballs and such is I'm not telling Capcom what they should do. I'm telling Capcom things that they could do. So for an example, would this be cheap if she could always do that with anyone? I don't think that would be cheap. Because it's hard to do on reaction, right? Because you get hit, right? But if I throw it out from here, there's not really much I can like get there. I can get a sweep actually, yeah. Like I don't get that, right? But it stops them from, you know what I mean? Like, would it be cheap if I could do that with, like, every fireball? I don't think it would be. No. I don't believe that. I think people like to draw the conclusion. Like, oh, you know, since it's in the game and it's been in the game for so long, then obviously it's like a decision that they made. And I think that gives Capcom a lot of credit. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a little snack. I'll be right back, and I'll explain my point of view. Where is my beard? So, like, the reason why I don't believe that, right, is because I don't think there's intention behind some of the decisions that Capcom made. The reason why I don't think that is because there's clear differences with some of the cast and what they can do and, like, what some of the cast can't do. And I think that people will look at it like being like it's intentional because they want them to be good at certain things. What I'm saying, the things that I'm talking about is not something that I think, in my point of view, Capcom understands, or it's on their radar, radar. I'll give you an example. So, in this game, characters like Ryu, for an example. Ryu can do this, right? And the reason why he can do this, right? And if I press a button here, right, I get hit, right? And the reason is because Ryu is canceling his light kick, right? You have startup, active, recovery, no startup on the second one. There's not enough of a gap there. That's what happens, right? And this is pretty universal across the board. Yeah. He can chain 2 light kicks, stop people from trying to walk back, and it's a frame trap, right? It's also baked into Ryu's frame data, right? His move is 5 frames startup, active for 2 frames, recovers in 10, right? And on block, it's -1. There's just not enough space between the two of them for my counterattack. Starts up in 5 frames, right? -4, it's -1 and cancels itself into the next attack. Cool. Again, that's pretty straightforward. Juri starts up in 5 frames, active for 3 frames, recovers in 8 frames. Right? So it's a little bit faster to recover. Also, -1 on block. Right? Starts up in 5 frames, -1 on block. But something interesting happens with this. Look how much of a gap there is in here. Right? 3 frames. Which means if Ryu presses a button, on this here, right? We trade. So that doesn't make sense. This is a problem with Juri. And only Juri. There's 2 other characters that can't do this. Ken and Jamie. The reason why they can't is because their crouching light kicks are -3. And the same thing will happen. Right? How is it possible that Juri and Ken could both have the same problem, but his crouching light kick is -3 and Juri's is -1? How is it possible that they both have the same problem? Well, dear viewer, remember when I said that Juri recovers in 8 frames, right? But when she cancels, she now recovers in 10 frames. Ask me why. Oh. No clue. They just added on recovery to it. It doesn't work. That doesn't work with Ken and Jade and Jamie. Jamie It doesn't work because they didn't add the recovery. It's just -3. So the reason why I bring this up is not to say Juri sucks. This is like another thing that sucks about her. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel that this is intentional. I think when I show people things like this, they're very quick to be like, "Oh, Capcom knows about this, but they did it so that like she shouldn't have that." And I go, "But why is she the only one in the game where that happened?" And they could never answer that. This is an example of them not understanding. And I think that if they were shown this, they would change it. Right? No, I don't think they know. That's the thing. I don't think they know. Nor do I think they care enough to look for things in this way. This is why I make content. But the problem is, no one seems to give a shit. Respectfully to the community, right? When I say that, it's like no one wants to be the bad guy, right? No one ever wants to like say the loud shit and be the enemy, you know? They don't want to be the person that everyone calls a scrub because there's shit about their character that doesn't work, and they don't want to be seen as the person who bitches. You know what I mean? It's like, I talk about this show all the time. This move needs to be changed. This move does not work as it should. It breaks frame data. Like, it breaks the logic of the game. And I think that's a case where I think Capcom does understand. But I think something has to get changed. Because, like, if I'm +2 here, they shouldn't be able to press a button there. Sorry, I don't believe that. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's bullshit, right? That, like, if they hit a standing light attack, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. Right? But no one wants to be the bad guy and say that. Because the way you fix it is that you buff the move, and people would lose their mind. I don't care. Fix it. Right? Because it's not even just that. It's the same way in combos, right? +5. 5 frames that don't work. Just don't work. I have to do this. I shouldn't have to do that, right? I shouldn't have to let my drive rush cook a bit. It should just work. Crouching like against Juri's frame trap. Yeah, there's a lot of things that just don't work with Juri. You're saying as a retaliation? What frame trap am I testing? Ah, yeah. He goes underneath. Yep. That's 4 frames though. That makes sense, right? Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, I think that's a bit much. It's really unsafe though. You know, like, I'm okay with that. Right? I'm actually okay with that. That to me is a character specific thing with Dulcim. It's a call out. You know what I mean? That's a call out. Difference between that and say this is that this isn't a call out per se. Like, of course it is, right? But even a person who's lazily just pressing that button to take their turn back would win there. You know what I mean? Like, that's my point. Like, I was plus. I made a plan to beat out his 4 frame, and I just lost. That I find to be goofy. Yep, I agree. But, like, what I find to be goofier is it this? There was something with, is it Luke? No, what was it? It was that. That's so goofy to me. It's a 6 frame attack. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 6 frame attack. Why am I trading? You know what I mean? It's because this move has this empty frame. I hate that. And I'm okay with it having the empty frame. What I think they should do is they should increase the vertical hitbox of it so that it doesn't lose the stand jab. I think that's like one thing. Oh, that I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure he SPDs the empty frame. I think what they should do, and I know that people wouldn't like it, but I don't give a shit.
Feeling nervous?
What I would like to see them is on the first active frame. I want to see them increase the hitbox of it to match the second frame. I would like to see them do that and see how it feels. Also, I either want them to lower, actually no, I want them to increase the hitbox of this move to match up here. I know people would think that's bullshit and blah, blah, blah. It would stop a lot of this nonsense. Right? It would stop a lot of like...
Feeling nervous?
Here's for you. See how like here it like evades this? I would like to see them increase it to about here.
Getting cold feet?
Or you know what? Not even that. Increase it here. Just so that it hits here. I want to be able to hit this. I don't think that's asking much. I want to see these 2 frames match, right? And increase the hitbox to about here. That's the first thing. What I think they should do as well,
Feeling nervous?
that they should do the same thing for here. This frame here should match that frame there. Sometimes I lose out just because of that one frame. I think that's bullshit. Same thing goes for hard punch. I know people think this move is good, but my point with this move is like Juri has a lot of things that aren't normalized. So this is the first frame. It should match that frame there. I know that people like, I think it's fair that Juri has that. And I actually don't have a problem with it doing that. My issue is that Juri's not like the only one. There's some characters that have it too. But like, this is why other moves are more consistent, right? That doesn't move. Why? You know what I mean?
Feeling nervous?
Like, the first frame, he gets his max range, right? It comes back a bit, but the whole point is that frame one, he gets his max range. So if there's ever a time where he's plus 10, right? As long as it reaches, he gets it. There are times when I'm plus 10 and I don't get it because it doesn't reach.
Getting cold
You know what I mean?
feet?
Like, that's the kind of shit I mean. For an example, HJ2. That worked. That does work. Someone has that problem. I forget who it is though. Well, it might be standing light punch actually. Great. Great. I love that. Love that. That's something. That is something, all right. Ain't that something? Love that. Something's not right there though. Not accurate. I guess it would have whiffed. That's why. I guess it would have whiffed. I forget who it was. I feel like it was JP for some reason. For some reason, I just feel like it was JP. Maybe it wasn't crouching. That loses straight up. I forget what character it was, but it just didn't work. But was it that? Versus this. So like the fact that I can force it to work is my point, right? It's like this won't work, right? Versus this. What are your what are our strengths besides fast, and crushing? We use for Fireball. The reason why people say that she's just like Mai, is that her strength is this, being able to do stuff like this, right? Right? You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Stuff like that. A lot like what Mai does, right? Mai has a dive kick that's safe. Juri's is not. Mai has more consistency when it comes to her combos. You don't need to learn the feng shui engine. Isn't it worse because of stock? Yeah. That's why people say that Mai is better, because you don't need to stock it. You know what I mean? You need to hold it. That's her problem, is that you need to hold it to get like that, right? But you still can just do this too. You know what I mean? And you're like still safe. Well, actually I have stock on. I'll be sure at all. Right? You can still do something like that and like you're safe. You know what I mean? But if you hold it, you're back in there. You know what I mean? So that's like why people say it's like you don't need stocks with her. She just has it. The way that like her like, oh, it's fair is because like she has to hold it down for a bit, and like as she hold it, she's like unsafe. But like if you're used to seeing this, you're probably not going to want to like try to press there, because like you're used to like this, right? But also her EX is out there too. You know what I mean? And like you don't got to hold that. It's just there, right? And now you're plus. Yep. Her fireball is a low fireball, so people can get around it. Like I think Mai is definitely a better character than Juri. Ida shy. But the thing about her is that you play Juri because you like Juri. You missed 2 hours at peak. Yeah, I'm sorry. I put out a notice on Discord, dog. Can't say I didn't. So like the thing about Juri, right? And I talked about this earlier, is that I think sometimes we play this game for the wrong reasons, right? And you need to like evaluate and keep stocks as to like why you're playing and like why you're choosing to do the things you do as you play. If your goal is to win all the time and your goal is to be as consistent as possible, this character ain't it. It's just not. You know what I mean? And like, if you ever have a friend that like says like, no, she's fine, blah, blah, blah. Ask them to make a tier list. Ask them to make a tier list. And then like, look at it. Nobody puts her in the top 10. Nobody. Nobody will put her in the top 10. And I actually feel like at this point, people don't even put her in like the top 12. You don't like to play the top tier for the sake of top tier, but man, it feels like Juri needs quality. Like, yeah. I think that she plays Street Fighter 6 like the base game very well, right? Her buttons work. Like, I think everything about her is like good. But when the rest of it, like, you know, she has a gun. I feel like everyone else has a bazooka. You know what I mean? And I think that especially like how they dealt with DLC. I also find it ironic too, right? Because like a few months ago, I made the point that I said every character that came out DLC is better than Juri. Right? Not only that, I think every character that's come out has been top tier. Right? Rashid and Aki kind of got power cut down a bit. I can make the argument that they're still top tier. Ed top tier, Akuma top tier, Bison top tier, Terry top tier, Mai is top tier. Fucking Sagat probably best in the game. She's top tier now. These two characters probably not top tier, right? So like, I feel like we're on a good path, right? I feel like they've really started to like think about how they want to design their cast. But even Elena, right? I think what I find interesting is if I were to say, is Elena in the top tier? They would say no. But holy shit, is Elena doing fucking work. You might not think she's top tier, but Elena is doing fucking work nowadays. Like, what's the Elena player? Levy? Yes. Right? What's up, D? But like my point, why did I do this screen? I'm sorry. My point is like everyone that's come out has been top tier at some point. I think there was a point where she was top 10, right? He was top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10, top 1. I think an argument could be made, but maybe not really. You know what I mean? But Elena is really strong now. She's really, I think Elena is the character that is like being slept on the most. Viper's probably top 10. Yeah. My point, I don't know if you've ever heard my stance. I don't argue if a character is top 10 or top 11 or top 12. You know what I mean? Because at that point, you can make an argument. If you can make an argument and it sounds right, sure, fine. I don't think there's that big of a gap between it. You know what I mean? It's like, she's top. It's fine. It's like before DLC was added, if you take away all the DLC now, based on the characters in the game, based on their strength at the current time without any of the DLC, your top tier definitely has Juri in it. Easily. Without even a question. Juri is easily top 10. If all the DLC was gone, Juri is top 10. I'm saying their strength as of right now, right? As where they are now, I think the argument is for JP, Juri, most definitely. Cammy, definitely. Blanca, definitely. Also, you start to look at some of the casts that start to like show up in top 10. Characters like Kail, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, he's top 10. You don't understand where people say that Juri has the best TP. I actually think she does. Because it goes really fucking far. Because it's like if Cammy even tries to bait die kick here, still hits, you know what I mean? See? In some of the casts that would do baits, it doesn't work. Even like Kimberly. It has a lot of good range. So like even Kimberly, when like she wants to do this, sometimes they'll just fucking get eaten up, you know? Even from back, no. Which is nice. There are times when I'm playing against a Marissa, they'll see me do this shit a lot. I agree with you. It does have that, but like, it's so good that like, that's not a problem. Like there are times when like, I'm trying to look for this, right? And I'll fucking react, right? Like there are times when like, I start to look for it and they'll do this. Right? And I'll still get it. You know what I mean? I'll still get it. Like, you know what I mean? I still get it. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I think with a little bit of not finesse, a little bit of, what's the word, technique, that doesn't happen. You know, I don't think it's a good thing to do that, right? But there are sometimes when I'm trying to look for something, right? Like this, I don't have to like react, you know what I mean? Where's the other one? See? Like, that's like what I mean. It's because her DP is like so far. So I think it's really good. Like, even at like here, like if I throw one here and you jump here, you're getting hit by a DP. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Is that great? No, because a lot of times they'll start doing this. I get tagged for it. Yeah, the thing about DPs in this game that people have a hard time with, I'm gonna go grab another Italian ice. If I can let it melt a little bit more. Give me a second, chat. Want some real shit, chat? Want some real shit?
Come to fight, then fight.
If you can find these in your grocery store, these motherfuckers are fucking gas. Holy shit. These motherfuckers are fucking gas. God damn. What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, some of the things that people have a hard time with and they hate about this game, which I understand their frustration,
If you've come
but
to fight,
also like go
then
fuck yourself.
fight.
People think when you jump, right, and like they react to it, they should always get the they should always get the DP. And I understand the frustration. That's not how it works. There are dead zones in this game that if you jump from it, you cannot DP.
If you've come to fight, then fight.
That's how it is. There's some dead zones. It will whip. I'm trying to remember what the sequence was. I watched a friend of mine play Juri this one time. And she showed it to me. She was upset about it. I said, that's because you're in a dead zone. Can't DP there. Give me a second to see if I could recreate it. I think it was something like forward jump after 2 blocks and then see like there, right? Can't. You have to cross cut it. But in some cases, I'm trying to remember what it was. If you couldn't cross cut because of like the angle that they were at. It's fine. It was a very specific one. I wish I remembered it. It's fun. But there's a certain range where they jump where like you can't cross cut it. I forget what it was. Was it this? Forget what it was. And the reason is it was based upon the recovery of Juri wouldn't allow for her to be able to walk forward a few frames to go underneath the crosscut. That when she recovered, it was already like Was it with a fireball? It might have been with that. But it was because when Chun-Li jumped, Juri recovered and she couldn't like walk forward. You can't. You couldn't. Right? You wouldn't get the cross cut. And if you did a DP, it would go underneath her. And if you tried to change the angle, if you try to change the direction, they wouldn't cross up. It was a frame perfect thing, right? That like when you do the DP, you're here, Chun-Li is here, right? So if you move this way, you're now on the other side. If you try to change it, you're now on this side. It was just one of those things. And that happens a lot in this game, but people don't recognize it. That like when they input it, they're just not at a range where they could do it. What you have to do is you have to jump back. It's awareness. Right? It's like awareness that you have to like be aware of like where you are. I wish I could recreate that. I wish I could like find it again. I forget what the setup was. It might have been with a fireball. Let me see if I could remember it. No, that's not it. I forget what it was. I don't think that was it. That was fun. It was something along those lines. And that happens a lot with people. It's because their anti-airs are lazy. They think as long as I DP, I'm fine. I tried it. It didn't work. I tried everything. The only thing that worked was parry. I couldn't jump up. I couldn't move. You can't move. That's what I'm saying. Is that it was at a range and you recovered in a way. And again, I wish I could remember what the sequence was. No. With crosscuts, it depends. In that case, I was doing a half circle ending in down back. Most of the time with my crosscuts, I just delay my DP and it autocorrects. Most of the time. But I'm bad when it comes to crosscuts. I usually don't have the awareness for it. So, if you look at my inputs, I move forward, do a half circle back. But I also do a half circle back, and I do like the jump. I do the jump shortcut. I wish I saved it though. I also missed a question. Sometimes I can't react to GIF a certain range. No. I think for the balance of the game is fun. I think more characters should be like that. Nah. The reason why I think it's fine is you're saying this, right? Let me get an example. You're saying this is you get a trade when they mash. Right? The reason why I think it's fine is this. All right, I think it's fine because of this, and I think it's fine because of this. That's why I think it's fine. She's got options. But a lot of the cats don't have to do that. Like fucking Sagat. Sometimes frame data isn't everything, as we just talked about. Whereas, like, I'm +2 here. 5 frames, that should frame trap. Right? And it doesn't. You know what I mean? Because frame data doesn't tell the whole story. The reason why that works is because, like, you're far away, you know? Like, if you, like, walk back like a hair. So if you watch Juri, I walk back for like a frame or two. You know what I mean? You hold back and then you could like space it out. Right? The same thing goes for the crouching medium punch, right? You space it out. Because if you hold back, you see it whiffs. Even if you like don't do anything, right? It whiffs. But when you press the button, it extends your hurt box. Right? So if you delay like a hair, hard to do it in slow motion. Let's turn off. You also gonna do that. It's all about making their attack whiff. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So if you know that they're gonna mash, you have ways to punish. And you can kind of stay safe too, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's not the best thing, you know what I mean? But look, I lose to people doing that shit all the time to me in the mirror. And I get annoyed as fuck. I'm like, why would you press that? There's a huge gap there. They're just gonna fucking mash that. But like, when you look at it, there's a reason why it works. Look at her hurt box here. It doesn't extend. You know what I mean? That's why it worked. So there's no hurt box there until it becomes active. So since there's no hurt box, a lot of times when you press the button, jabs will just fucking whiff. You know what I mean? Jabs will be active like here, and they'll just whiff. As opposed to like when you do this, watch where the hurt box starts, right? You know what I mean? It's like you trade there because look how far up it is. Yep. My point of view has always been Juri's a really good indicator of like their psychology of what they wanted the game to be. It's like got to me is proof that they've lost track of their mission statement for the game. I feel as though they forgot what they wanted to do with this game, or they gave up on it. But they never went back and adjusted Juri to play the game in the new style. It's like Juri's power requires a stock. If you think about a lot of the cast when they started, everyone has some kind of a resource that requires them to give up something for power. Right? It's like even a character like Cammy, right? Her gimmick is that she could like hold her DP. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like the biggest hurdle, but like everyone has to do something along those lines. I believe she will. Like, you look at the cast, right? His gimmick is his hold on his perfect his knuckle, right? Drinks, metal, cans, holding her buttons, wind stocks, stocking his departure and shit. Her stocks. Kind of an all-rounder. But charging her stuff. Hashigeki. Sumo Spirit. Doll. Kind of charge, I think, is supposed to be the hurdle, but not really. Ken's kind of like the all-rounder, but like his power is behind his like run cancels. You know what I mean? Serenity Stream. Zangief's, his thing is just he's a grappler, you know what I mean? Dalsim. He's just goofy, you know what I mean? But like everyone has like a gimmick to them, you know what I mean? But like I feel as though they like let up a lot of that. So I guess I can't say that. You know, he still has his wind for poison. His delay cancels. He can hold his fireball. That's not really a thing. But yeah, you see my point. But like the thing about Sagat, the reason why I brought this all up is that his power is just medium punch. You know what I mean? His Tiger Next. Oh, the Jinrai. Nexus is supposed to be like the gimmick, but it's not, right? It's not because like it's there and it still works as such, right? But like this exists, right? Like that's crazy to me. So it's like you have that, and then on top of it, you have that. That's crazy. That's stupid as fuck. Oh, if they're crouching, I forgot. I was like, why is that not working? That's insane to me. That's +4? Yeah, you can tell when it's plus. Yeah. That's crazy. One thing I don't like about Knee is that kind of how I feel about Akuma. I'm correct. I might be wrong. I'm gonna say this and then I gotta dip to have work in the morning. I am getting tired. Oh fuck, I forgot to shit, I forgot to do something on my account. Fuck, I forgot I had one more account on my game. Fuck. Yeah, so like here, if I block this low, he's +4. If I block this high, I'm plus, right? But the problem that I have, if I block the first hit low and then block the second hit high, he's still plus. That's what I don't like, right? That's goofy as shit. I clearly blocked that high. That's so stupid. Like, that's one thing I hate. And it's the same thing for Akuma. That if I block the first hit high and then block low, he's still plus. I hate that. When's Kail picking up Roger? Rashid, I always thought about playing him. He seems cool. Every jury has a pocket scammer. I think at the current time, my scam character is Kimberly. Yasmin would be mine. I'm not convinced she's going to be broken. I definitely could be wrong, but again, the trend doesn't show that she's going to be broken. She might have like crazy power in some way, but Ingrid's not broken. Alex isn't broken. See, Viper wasn't released broken. You know what I mean? They buffed her, but release C Viper was fair in my point of view. She does look, but I like her personality a lot. So like, I think the trend right now is they're releasing like fair characters. Maybe spamming heavy punch forever against every Jamie. Yeah, I'm gonna say this, chat. I've had a lot of fun learning Jamie. He's one of the more fun characters I have played in a long time. You said Sagat was top 5 on release. I wasn't convinced, but I thought his medium punch was fucking wild though. I was like, all right now. But yeah, playing the femboy. If Juri came out today, I 100% believe a lot of her problems wouldn't be there. Has anyone picked up Juri in this game but not play her in Street Fighter V? What's up, Crimson, how are you doing? You played her in 5? How's it going? But I keep saying to people that like think that like I just want her to be cheap. It's like I always say shit like, all right, if you think everything I'm asking is cheap, I have a question for you. If I could clash with this move, do you think that would be cheap? They would say no. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking. Because in Street Fighter V, that worked. In Street Fighter V, that was an option. And like, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like, I'm not asking for anything, in my opinion, that's too cheap. I'm asking for very fair things.
You look like you're in good shape.
Who did that? Kagero, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's look at this video here. This video stays being relevant. Street Fighter 6 dropped the biggest patch that they've ever done 2 weeks ago, shaking the game to its very core. When there's so many things to choose, I usually go to the thing that draws me the most. Every Juri player, from rookie all the way to her DP, her quarter circle back kick in the air, but she doesn't have a quarter circle forward punch or a quarter circle back punch. It seems like Capcom is trying to purposely get away from her Street Fighter 4 iteration. Lore-wise, she doesn't have the same eye that she had in Street Fighter 4, so her powers are going to be different in Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6. In Street Fighter 4, she had Kasatushi, which was quarter circle back punch, and it allowed her to absorb one hit and then teleport around the screen. The EX version was controllable, and you could go back, forward, or even up, or give me that shit. Even at a diagonal. Street Fighter 5, they got rid of this move and gave her the V skill Kasatu Shu. After she charged it, she can now pass through fireballs and punish them. But she also had her quarter circle back kick, which was her Ryodan Satsu. Most Juri players hated Ryodan Satsu because it didn't work all the time to punish fireballs. But the EX one had invincibility from fireballs on frame 1. This allowed her to go through fireballs and punish them and get more damage afterwards. And even if they blocked it, she was -2 and safe on block. On top of that, it was off the ground early, so it could evade throws. At the end, most players started to like Ryodan Satsu. And after Street Fighter 6 dropped, almost all the Juri players said, man, we wish we could have it back. And since she doesn't have an input on... Doesn't show? I didn't put that in the game? Her kick specials in Street Fighter 5 actually clash with fireballs. And I'm not going to load the game up to show it. But that sucks. I don't know why I didn't put that in there. Back. But for an example, I could use this to clash with a fireball. I could use this clash with a fireball, and it may make sense because, like, this is the same exact thing. It looks like this, right? As this. Why doesn't it clash with fireballs? It's just not marked as that. No. What they should do is that they should definitely get rid of some of the recovery of it to make it more safe, but also give me 3 versions of it. I should be able to control the angle of it. That will make it easier for me to hit the toes. You know what I mean? Or just make the OD version better. Because, like, this here, at that range, being punishable is crazy. Like, that's a punish? That's safe, okay. Like, that to me is wild. Like, what's my EX for? You know what I mean? Like, that's a punish. You know what I mean? Yep. My point with Juri, and then I'll call it on this, is that I'm not saying that they should just buff the shit out of her. People think about changes to Juri in the cadence of how they look at balance as of right now. Meaning, when they buff a character, they buff the shit out of them. But I think what they should do is that they should change things about her in small ways and then work their way up. So, like, I'm all for them just saying, okay, she now has 3 versions of her dive kick. And that's it, right? But when the next character drops, I'm assuming is Arjun, right? If it doesn't work well still, they should change it again. Like, I don't mind them making small adjustments. But what I want to see them do is that if they need to adjust it, they should do it fast. Yeah. There's no reason they shouldn't. I still stand by. They should give her a move on her quarter circle. Just circle back. I want her Kasatushi back. That or her V skill too. I liked her V skill too. I think her V skill too is what she's missing. I think her V skill 2 changes the whole game. That's why. For V-Trigger 2 that each drive gauge, I'll do you one better. Her SA2 should just do that. The corner jab setup? What do you mean? +1 on block, no drive rush? +1 on block, no drive rush. How? Wait. 1-0-1. Ah, yeah. I see. Interesting. I never think about chains at all. I never think about chains at all. $15. That's the EX store. Nice ones. 2, 11, 5. Yeah, that one I think I knew about. Let me take it back. I didn't know it was +1 there, but I remember I was trying to look at that for Ed. For it to be a safe jab. I remember that. I'm not bugging, right? I believe I'm right there. I also had a situation where I would do jab. I think it was that. Unsung, how are you doing? Yeah, Juri is one of the casts that didn't really get their V-trigger or their V-skills. If they match, yeah, fair enough. Doing well? I'm alright. I was actually talking earlier about this shit, Neon. And it's a point that I had in Street Fighter V. is that everyone plays Juri differently. And I feel like as Juri players, we're very segregated. A lot of us actually like make our own like streams and content and shit. And a lot of us don't share tech all that much. I remember in Street Fighter 5, I used to always say that every Juri player thinks that they're the main character and that their view on everything is correct, myself included. So I always like, it's really cool that Juri has so much unique options, but it's really bad because it's hard to like whittle away the stone. You know what I mean? Meaning like, if we're trying to sculpt a character, like I feel like we're slowly getting to what makes the character good. Whereas you look at a character like Mai, it's like clear. Look at a character like Viper, it's clear what's good about her. You know what I mean? With Juri, it's like she has her good points, but it's not very clear where her cheap shit is, you know? In my point of view, the thing about her that's cheap is like this. Oh my god, what the fuck? It's like shit like that. And of course, Rogue. Most definitely. The thing about her level 2 that I really dislike, though, and it might be how I'm using it, is like, if they parry her attacks, they get a bar back for every attack that they parry, but I don't chip nearly as much off of them from them blocking. You know what I mean? Meaning, like, if I do this, I chip off a block, like a bar and change. It ain't the same, you know? I always hate that. Yeah, but even still, right? Even that's not even a full bar, you know? That's my point. Yep. I love this. Yep. Because it sets up a fuzzy too, which I like. Which I like a lot. But I feel you, right? But again, like even if once you get to like here, it's a free drive reversal, and it's fine. I get it. But the issue that I have with it is like one parry, all your work is gone. And like, I feel you doing like a completely like true string, absolutely. But my issue when it comes to that is like, even when we do this, if they parry the one hit and they get both of them, that's 2 bars back. That's crazy. Like, I don't take all that much. I take a half a bar off of that. Where is it? That's a lot of bar back. I feel you, yeah. But like, that's my point, right? It's like, It's like that's where my issue with her SA2 is. You know what I mean? Is that I shouldn't be forced to only use it to burn out. You know what I mean? It's great to burn out. You know what I mean? I feel you 100%. I don't think I can. I don't think I DI that. I can, yeah, actually. I feel you. 100%. I feel you. 1,010%. I feel you. Yep. Off the 2 bars, I tell you, I take your whole drive gauge away. I 100% understand. But I don't know. There's too many things about it that I'm just not vibing with. You know what I mean? And that's saying a lot because I love a feng shui engine. I love it. It just don't hit the same anymore. I feel like it's missing something. You know what I mean? I feel like it's missing something. And I feel like if she had her V skill too, it would be a wrap. Like, I feel like it allows the opponent to mash decisions and still sometimes be right for no reason. You know what I mean? That's what I don't like about it. All right, chat. That is my alarm. That is my cue to get the fuck out of here. I got work in the morning, which means I got to be up really early. So I'm going to call it here. I might not be on tomorrow. We'll see if I'm going to go spend a day over at my mom's house. That's where I've been for the most part. Before you go, I'm going to throw out the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, I would love to have you guys. Best way to keep in touch with me. As I said, my streams have been very on and off. I apologize for that. I just started a new job, so it's been a little bit hard. If you guys are new to the channel, I would love to have you guys. Twitch and YouTube, make sure you guys got the link before you guys dip out of here. Did I close my browser? What the fuck? Smokos, how are you doing? Good to see you. I believe both of them got it right. Cool, cool, cool. Wait, did Twitch add that? Twitch clip that? Is that a thing now? Huh. I gotta try that shit. That's a good way to keep in touch with me. If you guys want, I think it's instagram.com/kail.xo. I think that is the yes. If you guys want to keep in touch with me on Instagram, I have a new Instagram. I also have, if you guys want to hear me talk about events in the world or LGBTQ stuff, absolutely. I would love to have you guys over on there as well. If you join the first one, sometimes you see some thirst traps. So there you go. All right, chat. I'll see you guys soon. I love you all. Again, hit up the Discord. Clip created from stream using clip. Oh, that's pretty cool. I can create clips by just saying that. That's pretty dope. Nice. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully soon I'll get my I'll get everything back up to speed. All right. I love you all. Be well. Take care. Tell your loved ones that you love them. I'll see you guys soon.